What's good, y'all? In this series, I'll be breaking down different sections of a landing page that I designed and prototyped in Figma for a portfolio project I just finished a few months ago, sharing my process, some of the challenges, and the finished version. In this particular video, I want to quickly break down my brainstorm and mid-fidelity wireframing process. All right, let's get it.
All right, y'all. So Semeion Robinson is a photographer and videographer based out of Southern California. I started watching his content on YouTube and Instagram for a couple months when I started my own business. I really liked his content because he gave some helpful tips and things like that on some of the tools he used to get his business started. He would vlog behind the scenes of him on a video shoot, and he would also talk about how he would deal with clients. So I really liked that and thought it was helpful for me. So I just started following his content and thought it'd be cool to redesign his current website and make it into a landing page. Now, since this is a portfolio piece, I didn't have direct contact with Semeion. I didn't want to reach out to him initially and ask if he wanted me to redesign his website because I was still starting my business and I didn't have a lot of website design in my portfolio as it was. So I wanted to create it first and then present it to him later, like when I was done. So how I approach brainstorming is I always start on paper. So I have my notebook and I like to get all of my ideas out on the page. And some of the questions that I like to ask myself is, what do I already know about Semeion? How can I improve his website? How do I think he wants his brand to be perceived? And what will the structure of his landing page look like? So these are some of the questions that I ask myself to get kind of the creative juices flowing and just get everything down on paper and fill it up as much as I can before I actually hop on the computer. So after getting everything down on paper and before I hop into Figma, once I finish my brainstorming session, before I jump into Figma, I like to sketch out at least 5 to 10 different low fidelity wireframes. This is going to focus on what's the hero section is going to look like, or where the video is going to be on the page, if I include statistics, or where the call to action is going to be on the page. I like to sketch those out before I jump into Figma. Low fidelity or lo-fi or mid-fi wireframes is something that I learned when I was learning UX UI design a couple years ago. Typically when I approach a web design project, I like to start with lo-fi mockups, but I've slowly started getting better and better every project, and I've actually, jumped from lo-fi to mid-fi. And that's typically what happens because, once I get into a groove and I know what information I want on the page, what images and videos, it kind of leads more into mid-fi than lo-fi wireframes. Typically, a low fidelity wireframe would look more something like this. This is from a previous project. It would be laid out more with gray boxes, and there wouldn't be any information needed on the page because you just want to get a sense of what the layout is going to look like. So I'm not very good at I'm not very good at creating or building actual lo-fi because I like to add in some of the text or the headings and stuff like that. So I jump around. But if this was going to be like a true lo-fi wireframe, then this would be it would look something like this. It would just be boxes. It would just be this, this would be the header. No information, that's it. And then a mid-fidelity wireframe could include some of this information, or it could be placeholder text is what a lot of designers like to do. So this would all be placeholder text and everything would still be gray boxes. I wouldn't really add color at the mid-fi stage, but it kind of varies on the designer and what they call lo-fi, mid-fi wireframe. So that's how I approach that. Sometimes I like to have video playing in the background. I decided to create my own intro video and include it on the page. Here are some statistics here. This is a photo grid. Got a quote here. Here are a set of videos here, socials, and a call to action with a calendar here at the bottom. That would be just the structure of this landing page that I want. So that's how I approach the brainstorming and wireframing process.
If you found this helpful, slap that like and subscribe buttons. Appreciate you. Peace.